Welcome back, my dearest watchers. I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm tired. I'm a little depressed. This video is about me kind of just spending the day getting out of a rut and doing habits that will hopefully help. AKA, the depression has hit me hard for some reason and I just need a day off. So that's what today's gonna be. I have like 2 things I have to get done, like 2 obligations. I have to figure out what's for dinner, and I have a phone call in like an hour. Outside of that though, I'm pretty free. I'm thinking I'm gonna spend some time outside. And then I'm gonna spend some time inside. Just kind of hanging out, playing video games. Kind of just like resetting. Whenever I get into a depressive episode, or in one of these moods, which is my depressive episode, I tend to just need to take like a day, sometimes a day or 2, but I think right now I just need a day to like do nothing, kind of catch back up on habits that I've been neglecting and kind of come back to center so I can continue to do the things that I want and need to do. Yeah, that's gonna be today's video. Kind of soft and whatnot. I'm gonna go make breakfast and then I'm gonna come back and I will talk to you guys then. Oh, quick reminder, take your medication if you haven't, drink some water if you haven't, go eat something if you haven't. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back upstairs with a full water bottle and my parfait. What's in here is just yogurt, chia seeds, blueberries, and granola. I typically eat this minus the chia seeds with strawberries, but the strawberries didn't look good at the grocery store. And I'm trying to see if the chia seeds make me more full. Keep me, more full for longer? Sure, let's go with that. I'm gonna eat this and wait for my call. And then I'm gonna head outside. I'm thinking. Okay. Verb.
Eventually. And then down here, this is my street. I was really proud of it. This is like downtown. So you can get like back down this little hallway. Obviously to start, you're gonna need a tray. A lot of people ask me where I get this tray. This one was from a bit.
Welcome to my backyard. I'm gonna spend some time back here, hanging out, chilling, relaxing, all of those fun jazzy things. Yeah, I'm also gonna read. I brought the Iliad, translated by Emily Wilson, out here with me. I've been very excited to be able to get to read this, so I'm gonna start reading it today. I don't know, it just feels a little romantic to me. That's what right now is gonna be. Every now and again you might see my dog. If you're new here, his name is Prince. He is a Maltese poodle mix and he loves to bark. Okay, hello. I hope you enjoyed outside time. I did. For the short amount of time I was out there, it was getting pretty hot. And I even went early in the morning to like beat the sun, but I don't think I beat it enough. And it probably doesn't help that I'm wearing like almost all black as my lounging outfit today. So there's that. But I also went to Panera and like got lunch for me and my mom. So there was that. Anyway, I meant to talk a little bit about the reading that I got done while I was out there, but I didn't get a chance to. Anyway, I haven't finished the introduction yet, but I'm making my way through it. I'm like really tired, so thoughts are a little difficult at the moment. But the introduction's really interesting, and I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm very excited to get through the introduction and the translator's notes. It's really interesting. It's talking about like the Iliad and the common themes throughout it, how like death is like a common recurrent theme that runs throughout the Iliad, and the restitution. There we go. So the Iliad is like a quote is, the Iliad is framed by scenes of loss and restitution, right? And kind of how people keep losing things and they keep trying to find ways to make up for that loss, and how most of the time for most people they don't get to make up for the loss that they had. What they get as restitution, right, as a, I'm trying to fix this wrong that was committed against you, isn't always equivalent to the wrong that was committed. For example, but like this doesn't happen all the time, right? But for example, they talk about Achilles and how Patroclus, I think is how you pronounce his name, I hope it is, but how Achilles lost Patroclus and how he was killed, and how Achilles went and in his rage killed Hector and then desecrated his body by dragging him around the walls of Troy for a good while, and how that was Achilles learning, like, I lost something really important to me, this very important relationship right here, and how the restitution is not enough, right? I killed all of these Trojans, right? And it wasn't enough. I killed Hector and it wasn't enough. And all that I have left is the ability to bury his body and grieve with other people. That's all I have. And it's not a lot. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. And they also have moments where it's just like, it's equivalent. So a priest named Chryses, I believe, loses his daughter but recovers her alive thanks to the intervention of the god Apollo. Right, and that's kind of like how divine intervention plays a part into it. I thought that was really interesting. I think also what I found to be really interesting was they were talking about how Zeus, how like there's this idea that like Zeus at his feet has like two buckets, and like one is all of good and like one is like all evil, and how, having this compared to the wine or ambrosia being like everything that's good, and water being compared to like things that are bad, and how people who get both, like that's life, like that's people, you have moments of good, you have moments of bad, but there are some people who only have the bad, and how the gods can only have the good. And I thought it was really interesting. I'm gonna read this like quick little excerpt. So it says, 2 drawers are set upon the floor of Zeus. From one he gives good things, the other bad. When thundering Zeus gives somebody a mixture, their life is sometimes bad and sometimes good. But those he serves with unmixed suffering are wretched. Terrible starvation drives them across the shining world. They have no honor from gods or mortals. And I think that was such like an interesting thing to think about. And then finally the last, there's another thing I'm going to talk about after this, but the other thing was kind of how Achilles' wrath was driven, that like he was so talented and so gifted and whatnot, and that he shouldn't have to suffer a loss without being given a good compensation for it, and how that's just not true, that at the end of the day he is mortal and he will experience loss, and that a good chunk of the time that loss won't be compensated for. And I thought that was really interesting. There's like an actual quote in here that I'll read. Yeah, we're gonna read it. So it says, Achilles' wrath is driven by a belief that he, an extraordinarily talented, quick-footed fighter with divine blood in his veins, should never have to suffer loss without adequate compensation. His wrath can only end once he recognizes that no mortal, even the son of a goddess, can ever hope for such good fortune. And I thought that was really cool. And then finally, I got to the part we started talking about the city of Troy, and anthropologists, if you don't know, anthropologists in like the 1800s, man, oh my goodness, they just, so much stuff lost or damaged because it was just, we're just gonna dig. Anyway, I really wish, I wish a little bit that I had the skills of like my science skills, and I think it's just because of college. Like, if I needed to sit down and get something science related done, like even though I'm like really tired, I could do it. I could sit down, get it read, and and that's great and fun and dandy, and I love that I have those skills. I wish I could translate those skills to the humanities, but I can't. I'm just so tired. I need to have a lot more focus for this, for me to enjoy it and like get what I want out of it in the way that I want to. But it's okay. Anyway, that's it for this little segment. I'm gonna hang out, finish my Muffy from Panera, and probably play some games. I was gonna play Baldur's Gate, but I feel like I need more energy to do that. I might take a nap. I'm feeling a nap. Anyway, thanks for listening to me just chat. I'll see you either playing games or before my nap. When I tell you I've been sitting here chatting your ear off and I wasn't even recording. Okay. Anyway, hello. Recap for y'all, because you weren't here for my yaps. Yeah, I don't know. Feels a little ominous because it's like nighttime when I'm getting back to y'all. So what happened? After we finished talking, I fell asleep. I thought in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna record myself, like, you know, the beginning of my nap, a cute little B-roll moment. It's gonna be adorable. Yeah, that didn't happen. I was thinking about it, and then I fell asleep. Yeah. I was watching a YouTube video about paranormal investigators getting drunk. Yeah. It was funny. Then I fell asleep. Then my little sister woke me up to help move a rug from under her bed, and I did that as best as I could. Then I went back to sleep. I want to say it was around 2 when we last talked. Yeah, didn't really wake up until like 5:30. So I didn't get to make dinner, so we just bought dinner. I ate that. I've kind of just been chilling, hanging out, watching YouTube. Yeah, I was talking about how I wanted to watch K-pop Demon Hunters, but I think in my mind I've like put the movie like on a pedestal, and like I'm expecting it to be like really good and like for me to enjoy it, and I think subconsciously that's just putting a lot of pressure on myself to enjoy it. And so like I just right now don't have enough energy to kind of give it the attention that I want to be able to give it, so I'm not watching it today. I might watch Squid Games. I have like 2 more episodes of season 3, and season 3 has been wrecking me emotionally, mentally, giving me so much anxiety. When I tell you, like, it's just one of those things where like season 2 wasn't, you know, it's a game where like a lot of people die and like capitalism and all that, right? But like season 2, I was laughing. I had hope. I was sitting here liking all of those videos where they're like, everyone's gonna go home and they're gonna live together and it's gonna be great. And then season 3 happened, and it's like, damn, the show where everyone dies willy-nilly has people dying willy-nilly. It's kind of sad. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch that. I'm probably not gonna watch it. But right now I'm watching a video called The Problem with Greek Myth Retellings by Kate Alexandria, and I'm very interested in it. I think it is going to be very interesting. Well, I'm like 5 minutes in, and it's interesting. I'm excited to hear the rest about it, just because I'm very interested in like antiquity in general, but you know, ancient Greeks, the ancient Greek myths. Very excited to be able to watch, finish watching it, and kind of see what goes on. Because I think we're really talking about like, you know, the feminist Greek retellings and about that, and it's like, you know, it makes you think like, how well can modern day people tell the stories of antiquity? Simply because, you know, many of us are not Greek, unless you are Greek, you know, y'all are heading leagues above the rest of us, man. That, or if you've like studied ancient Greek history, but like even with that, like none of us are ancient Greek people, you know. None of us lived, you know, prior to written history. None of us lived, you know, in 350 BCE, right? 3050. What? 3500 BCE, right? That was ages ago, centuries. So it's like, you know, how well can we realistically retell these things? And honestly, a lot of these retellings are more reflective of modern day people and modern day audiences than they are of ancient people. So I guess the question really is, what's the point of the modern Greek myth retellings? And are they really retellings? Or is it more of just you're being inspired by the ancient Greek myths and the ancient Greeks and the Greek gods and whatnot? I think is the real question of the hour. I think I might finish reading the introduction to the Iliad if I can get the energy up to do so. Yeah, I thought I was gonna play a lot more video games today than I did, but I spent a lot of it sleeping, which honestly, accurate for these kind of days. But hey, what happens, happens. No, I just felt like I should talk and like recap the day a little bit and just talk a little bit about like getting out of a rut. I think sometimes it's important you know, I've been really thinking a lot about growing up and getting older and all of the lessons I've learned. And I think one of the biggest things I've learned kind of these last couple of years, and like dealing with my mental health and learning how to live with depression and anxiety and navigating the world with both of those things, is that a lot of times I have to remember to give myself compassion and give myself grace. And sometimes that means stopping and taking it slow and just taking it a day at a time, an hour at a time, giving my body the things it needs. Sometimes it means, you know, even though I don't like napping because it means it messes up my sleep schedule a bit, you know, sometimes it means taking a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day because that's what my body needs so I can continue to function the next day and keep going. Because if I just push it off, then I'm just gonna crash and I'm not gonna be as efficient, quote unquote. And like, honestly, I shouldn't be doing this, and I don't do it for like the efficiency. I do it so I feel good, so that I feel well, so I can do the things that I enjoy. Because outside of the things that I need to do, quote unquote, or that I do for like more career reasons or more academic reasons, there are a lot of things that I enjoy that are, you know, not related to those things. A lot of my reading pursuits are my own, looking into antiquity and ancient Greece and ancient Egypt. Those are my own things, and learning music and learning languages. Like, those are things that excite me, and I can't do those if I'm not in a good headspace, you know? In that same vein of giving grace and loving yourself, I think it's also important to know that sometimes loving yourself means pushing yourself to do things that are challenging and difficult. And I think sometimes taking care of yourself can be challenging and difficult, you know? Because when you love someone, you want what's best for them. And sometimes that's a tough truth to hear. I am now officially really going to end the video. I will see you guys next week with another video. It'll be some grad school work. We will be looking at making timelines for, you know, grad school, and just kind of working together, getting some stuff done is really the main thing. Maybe we'll go to a cafe. I don't know. I don't really have cafe money, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just go to a library or work outside or something. Yeah, but I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys. Anyway, that's all. Have a wonderful rest of your week.